So we're going to be going live shortly with Gary Bowman from the Utah Adult Baseball League, which is the first league in America to get a permit and play a game amid the coronavirus pandemic. So we're waiting for Gary to get on his phone, and he was on his laptop. He's new to Instagram. There he is. He says, "I'm here." All right, we see you, Gary. I'm going to go live. I hit the button. Here now. There we go.
Hey.
Gary!
Hey, guys, what you doing?
All right, how are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for jumping on Instagram with us. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, no problem. How you guys been doing?
We're doing good. I mean, other than the fact that we can't play baseball, everybody over here is going, stir crazy. And that's why Joe, the player up of the ABA, reached out to you guys to try to get you to get an interview. Again, I do appreciate you doing that with us. And so I have some questions. I'm sure there's a lot of things you want to tell me, but the first question on everybody's mind is, how the hell did you get a permit to play baseball?
Well,
We saw the news article. It's awesome.
oh yeah, no, it came down to just I worked consistent with the government. We use county fields. Nobody else would let us use. We can't get on any high school fields or any other fields like that. So we just use nothing but the county. And we've been postponed since the last weekend in March. We've been waiting that long to get on, and we'd have a meeting every Monday over the phone talking about things. We'd cancel. Not next Monday. So every weekend it got to a point, and we went from orange to yellow, and they kept looping us in with the youth league. And I finally just told them, we're not part of the youth league. We're an adult. We make our own choices. We're not having our parents sign any paperwork for it. And I said, well, here's some guidelines. And I came up with some guidelines that I said, this is what my guys would follow to play ball. And if these guidelines work, you can use them for the youth leagues, the super leagues, the automotive leagues, if you would like to. And I sent guidelines to them, and their first impression was, well, you can't make your guys do this. And my next impression was, you don't know me very well. I can make them damn well do what I want to. If they want to play ball, that's what they're going to do. And sure enough, they did it.
What guidelines did you institute?
Well, right off the bat, we shut the dugouts out. We shut them out. We let in the whole batter in the dugout. That's it. So you got your batter, your on deck batter, and then the whole batter is in the dugout, and that's it. That keeps the flow of the game going.
Right.
6 foot spacing. All the players would have to sit out in the grass. Lawn chairs. I think actually halfway through the game they had more fun doing that than sitting in the damn dugout.
Yeah, I sit in a lawn chair anyway, so I don't even worry about dugouts. We have it all set up. So.
Yeah, we did that. We moved the umpire.
What about batting?
Batting, well, that's where we moved the umpire. We put him behind the mound. We always have two umpires, so we still kept two umpires.
One in the field and one behind the mound.
Yeah. And it was actually pretty nice because halfway through the game, they switched spots. The other umpire wanted to see what it was like to call the game because this game we had was a big exhibition game where we took our time and we ironed things out during the game because we actually our first season game is Tuesday the 26th and when our season finally kicks off.
Okay.
So this game was a good one to follow. We had people there to watch it. We had the other leagues sent their presence to watch. We had a few of the umpire association people come down to watch. And so that was nice.
Did you mandate that your batters wear?
We left that up to the batter and players. It was recommended, it was suggested, but it wasn't required. A lot of guys after they came out of the field in the stands, sitting with their families and on the grass, but no, we didn't have anybody wear out on the field.
What about stealing? Did you let them steal?
Yes and no.
Okay. Okay, explain.
What we did there is we mandated that the runner must stay in contact with first base until the pitcher releases the ball.
So similar to Little League?
Yes, or softball. I hate to say that word, but
I hated that word too.
But yeah, they could take off. Once he lets go of the ball, they're free to go if they want to, or they can lead off and get ready, anything like that. But this kept the contact from the first baseman and the runner away from each other. We didn't have to do anything on second base. We didn't have to do anything on third base because, honestly, you don't get a lot of guys holding anybody on at third. And on second, they're running back and forth.
Moving in and out, right. It's the first baseman who stands right next to the runner, right. Okay.
And we had a couple people moan about that, but not even halfway through the game, probably about the second, third inning, no one really noticed. It was just, they just stood there, ready to go. Right when the guy let go of the ball, they were gone.
Whatever it takes to get back on the field, we got to suck it up, is what you're saying. That's what I keep telling my guys. So I have another question for you. How badly hit by this virus was Utah?
Not too bad. We got 3.2 million people, and right now we have about 8,000 people affected. We've had 93 people die, or 98. I think it's 93. I think we only had 93 people die, and a little over 3,000 have recovered. And they said there's 100, I think 100 and something in the hospital. So we haven't been hit too hard. We're kind of sparse, open areas, and we locked down pretty quick.
So I heard that Arizona and Ohio are working on getting permits too. I think Arizona's going to start. I think they're having some scrimmage games this weekend, and then I think their season's going to start in June. And I think Ohio, their season's starting on the 28th or the 29th, something like that. I'm not sure, but I talked to some of those guys already. But the problem here in New Jersey is, as you've heard, like New York is like the epicenter of this thing, and New Jersey was hit pretty bad, but our state government isn't doing as good of a job as we think they should be doing. And I refer to my governor as Emperor Murphy. So Darth Hideous is the other term I use for him. He doesn't. So we're still on. Are you guys on any kind of lockdown at all? You have any curfew or anything like that? No, right?
No lockdowns, no curfews. We've got. I'm an essential employee, so I've been working through this whole thing. They've had no mandate of staying home, but if you're not essential, they shut companies down, the restaurants are shut down, bars are shut down.
Right.
It's your regular stuff, but you could come and go. Wear a mask if you go out. Suggested. They didn't. It was never a must do. We everybody pretty much handled. And also with the baseball thing that got us on there too is we had a checklist that I took from my company. That when the ball players got there, they had to come from their car to a table, go through the checklist, either sign yes, they have some of these symptoms, or no, they don't, and then we scan their forehead, and if they're under that 100.4, they could go inside the ballpark and they can play ball. If not, we were told, sorry, you have to go home. They would leave. They were never moved around anybody else until after that form was signed and their temperature was taken.
This was something that you did, or this is something that the county wanted you to do?
This is something I did. This is something I told. I gave them the guidelines. I told them this is all the stuff we'll do. We put up signs about 6 foot spacing. We put up signs where to stand. We taped off the dugouts with a little note. All they had a sign on it said only in the whole batter. Yeah, I took the initiative, and I didn't want to be the guy that says, what are you going to do? I'm going to sit there and be stupid and say, well, I haven't really got that far. I came up with the whole stretch, and I sent it to him and says, this is what my guys will do. It could work. Why don't we find out if it works?
So what's interesting to me is that you didn't have to have anybody wear a mask. I mean, so I'll go over some of the things that I'm proposing for my league. Because our governor and government is really worried about social distancing, which is what they're hanging their hat on. And I tried to explain this just like you did. We'll move the umpire behind the mound. We'll even not steal if that helps us get back on the field quicker, because they're worried about contact, incidental contact at second base or third base, something like that. But I like your idea of just like Little League. Wait for the pitch to leave the pitcher's hand, and then you can steal. We just won't have the first baseman hold anybody on. I like that. I don't know if they'll go for it, but everything's on the table right now. We're even talking about having our batters wear masks, and really the catcher is down in a squat and the batter is standing up, so we're not even on the same plane.
And what I talked to them about that with ours is they brought that up too. Is the mask for having the catcher wear a mask, and then I got I used to catch. I pitch.
Catcher's already wearing a mask.
And I told the guys, I say, we'll try this out. And we went out at work, me and a buddy. I put a mask on and some goggles at first.
Yeah.
We threw the ball in there and it tore it off. I about lost an ear, because you're grabbing that mask to get off to get a pop-up. Everything comes with it.
Yeah.
And then I told them, I explained that to them. Then I also explained the fact that, well, the catcher wouldn't need any of that equipment.
No, the
because
batter.
the umpire's gone. And if you put a mask on the batter, then that saves your umpire.
Right.
I mean, your catcher. We got talking more about that. And then it came out to, they're not there that long. They really don't talk that much. And if I can go to Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot,
the supermarket, people are backing into you. It's the same argument I'm making here. There's no aisle that's 12 feet wide, or people are they're backing into you. You're passing people, and if I'm waiting to receive the pitch, I'm waiting for the pitcher to throw the ball. 2 seconds, I'm in the box, right? Really, what are we talking about? It's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's what I talked to them about. They came out with me. The one thing I got a kick out of, they came out with sanitizing the baseball after the second person touched it.
Okay, that's nice.
That's what I said. I said, well, okay, let's think about this one. So the pitcher has the ball. He throws to the catcher. That's the second person. The guy swings and misses it. So the catcher would give it to the umpire. The umpire would sanitize it, then throw it back to the pitcher. Now, the pitcher would be the second person that has touched. So it's got to get sanitized again. And what happens if it gets hit to the shortstop who throws to the second?
Right. Doesn't make any sense.
By the fourth inning, those balls are going to be
shot. Yeah. Well, I said this. I said, we'll just be cognizant of not touching our eyes or nose or our face. We'll just keep washing our hands or using hand sanitizer or whatever. But then the CDC came out and said that it's not as easily transmittable on surfaces as they once thought. It's only a component of the virus that survives outside, and you need the whole virus to be infected. So that's the way I'm putting it. And also, the balls go out of play all the time. We're changing the balls around anyway. So, no, what about, do you have a no handshake policy? Do you have what about sharing equipment?
No, I couldn't share equipment.
Right.
After the game, everybody just waved. They all stayed on their side of the fence and waved.
Live long and prosper.
I think there was a few middle fingers that there were,
Yeah.
Also, with the batting, people ask, well, what about the bat? And I said, well, 9 out of 10 guys wear batting gloves.
Yeah.
You got batting gloves with pine tar in it. You're not going to get anything from that. And also going to the baseball thing, I asked the one commission lady from the government, I said, well, how many times do you go to a store? And she says, well, that's different because the cart's sanitized. And I said, that's right, but the product in the store, if you go and pick up a box of cereal, you don't want it, you put it back. Who else picked that up before you? Because I swear.
Who put it on the shelf? Who put it in a box? Who scanned it? Who put it in your bag? Stop with this. Yes.
There's not someone walking behind you, wiping down. Oh, they're going to pick up some Ajax. Oh, they put it back. Here, wipe that down. Oh, They didn't want the Lucky Charms. Why? No, I said you got to be smart, responsible, and respectful of your players and friends, and that's what it comes down to.
And you made a very good point, the same point that I've been making, and I'm trying to get in contact with my governor, but my governor doesn't even have his email address listed on the website. Like, he just doesn't want to hear from us. But the point that you were making is the same problem that we're having, right? You're just an adult league, and there's some coalitions doing some petitions and things like that, but they're lumping the kids with the adults together.
Yeah.
And that's a problem because I understand the government feels like they need to intercede on behalf of the kids, but we're adults. We can assess, we can assume our own risk, and if we voluntarily gather together knowing the risks, the government should stick their nose out of what we're doing and just give us a permit and let us play. We could do it safely, we could do it responsibly, right? We're adults.
Yes, that's what I told them. I said the same thing. We're not youth. I had to sign certain waivers that took them completely off the table for being liable. That's why we had the scandal.
I told them we'd sign waivers too. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, we did the whole thing there. It was just coming down to giving it a try. If you could actually do it, because we had our ruling went to 50. You can have 50 or less people congregate, as long as they stay social distancing. We proved that. We approved that they signed the paperwork. We got that taken care of. Everything I had an answer for everything they had. And I never, I don't know how everything works there. I never dealt with my governor. Not one time. We have our little city mayors, and each one was allowed to open up the city how they seem. So I just had to deal with the Salt Lake City mayor.
So my league has my league has about 1,400 to 1,500 players. Okay, we have. I know you the news article said you had 400.
Yeah, we're not. We're just a little Podunk, Utah team. We got
right. So we're a little bigger than that, and you're dealing with one county. I have 10 counties I have to deal with, and then like the board of all the different board of eds and all the different cities, municipalities, local governments, everybody's doing their own thing, right? That's the problem, is they're all separate, and they're all waiting on. And the only head person in charge right now is the governor, and they're all looking to him to see what they can do. Like I said, everybody's doing things differently. Some places have already shut their fields down till the end of June. Some people are waiting and seeing. It's just, and I have to talk to all of these different groups and rec departments, and it's difficult because they're a lot of them are furloughed because there's nothing for them to do. So they're waiting, hoping that that they allow baseball and other sports to come back. I think baseball will lead the way. I think we'll be the first sport to come back, because everything else, other than like golf and tennis, like everything else is like contact. So I think
they overdid it. They really jumped the gun on sports fast, because they didn't have to close. Football definitely, basketball definitely, soccer definitely, tennis, golf, baseball.
No,
you're not going to. Why? I can see the fans. First thing you do, shut the fans out. Figure it out.
We don't even get fans. We don't even get fans. Maybe three. Somebody's mom, and they heckle us, and they leave in the fourth inning when we suck, or whatever it is. But look, we're outside, in the open air, where this dies in a second. The sun, right? We're spread apart. And here's another thing that our government fails to recognize. Our state government, the mental health aspect of this. Like you talk in your interview, you talked about how this is the release that people use they use this to get through Monday through Friday blues. Yep. This is their mental health day, right? Getting out to play baseball. So
yeah. With us, it's like we did our like ours. You have all your different entities, and you have to deal with the governor. I just had to deal with the Salt Lake City mayor, the West Valley mayor, the Sandy mayor, and the Kearns mayor. And those people kept asking, well, what are these doing? No one wanted to give me a straight answer, because no one put the neck on the line. And once Salt Lake City said, well, let's have you play. The first they said, well, how about we just do you Saturday on your regular, we'll move you to the first Saturday in June, and we'll try it. And I said, man, that's 8 games and 16 teams. Why don't we I had a regular scheduled game Thursday night. Why don't we just turn that into an exhibition game? And if it works, great.
Right.
That way we can control it instead of it turning into a shit show.
And then use that as a template going forward. Right.
So they agreed to that finally. And once Salt Lake got on, the rest of the cities got on, and we opened right up. I submitted my paperwork and my schedule, and we're ready to go. We're playing now till the end of August, and we got playoffs all through September.
Well, we're going to try and model what you did, in a sense that we can go now to. And I've sent that to all our field people. I can't get my damn governor, but the damn emperor to answer me or acknowledge that I exist. But at least the field people that I talk to, they're all very responsive, even if they're working from home or even being furloughed and have limited access to email. I'm sending them your story. I'm sending them what you've done out there. In a sense, you've pioneered this. You've found a little crack of daylight, and now we got to try to expand that over here in New Jersey, because they want to keep us inside, and it's killing us. We got to get out. The other part about this that people don't realize is that, I don't know about your league, but my league's a small business. People don't realize, that we have to pay for things. You need to be a corporation. You need to buy baseballs, insurance. Taxes. You got to pay tax. Like the whole kit and caboodle. They don't understand. And you got we take a little bit of a salary from it too as well, because it's so much work that we have to do.
You paid? Damn.
Yeah, right. You got to jack your fees up a little bit. I don't believe me. I'm not living in a mansion, but the governor's living in a castle in the sky, making decisions. But I'm not getting rich out of this. I do it mostly for the love of the game. But at the end of the day, it's like, even if it's like part-time job kind of money or whatever it is, it's still a business. We're still employing umpires, right? We're still buying equipment and baseballs. And so all of the people that are connected to us, they're all suffering too, because they're making these, decisions, draconian style, lock you in the cave and don't come out. And it's like, we're adults. You're violating our civil rights, if we can assess and assume the own risk and go out there voluntarily, what business do you have to tell us no? Right?
It comes down to if you can go to work and be indoors for work for 10 hours, surrounded by certain people that who knows what they did the night before, who knows what they did yesterday over the weekend, just like with us.
Or 13 days before, they still may have it, who knows?
And for us, we're at least on a ball field for only 3 hours in an open area, and only two people close to each other for a minimum of maybe a minute and a half, all combined.
All combined.
Catcher. Yeah, because I had to explain it to our government too. It's like, I'm not Little League. At first they got mad. Why are we having this meeting with you guys? Because you're part of us. And I said, no, I own it. The UAABL is the Utah MSBL, and it's an LLC. I turned it into a nonprofit and took on the name of the Utah AABL back in 2012 and been running as a nonprofit since then.
And you're independent.
I took over, and we only had 6 teams when I took over. And
so you built it up.
Yeah, we took over. We started in 1989, and it kept going downhill. And in 2000, we had 6 teams. I bought it in 2002 and took it from 6 teams. The most we had at one time was 30 teams, and we've leveled off at 23. Last year we had 24, so we sit right about that. And
well, that's a good sized league.
For being in Utah, where we only have 5 months of no snow.
Right.
We play fast.
Okay, so that's something I didn't even realize. You had 5 months of no snow, and now they're cutting into the time you get to play with this. Because over here we do a spring, we go April through July with August playoffs, and then we have a fall league, which is September through November. So we get a good 8-9 months of baseball over here in New Jersey.
And ours is bad because we have to share the field in spring. Our spring basically starts the 1st of April, ends the end of July. We only play 1 game a week. The 18s and 32s play on the weekend. The 42s play on Tuesdays or Thursdays. And then in August, normally through August, September, now we play 2 games a week. The 32 take over, the 18 and 32 take over Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturday and Sundays. The 42 division goes to Wednesdays and Saturday, Sunday mornings. So for 2 months, we average about 24 to 30 games.
Yeah, that's great.
And then we have our playoffs in October. We took the top 4 teams from each division. They play a playoff year. We're done right before the World Series starts. And last year we sent down 18 teams to the World Series.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So
yeah, we have some tournaments over here in New Jersey. I used to run a tournament years ago, but it's tough. It's just too much when I'm running the day-to-day everything. We have so many teams in the league, and we have a 35 and over division. And those guys, they're dying to play more than the younger kids, it seems, because I had one guy tell me, I'm running out of time. How many more years do I have left? I got to stay home. I got to stay inside. I'm like, we're trying to do something, but we're trying to get their attention. We're trying to wake them up. Like I started a petition here in New Jersey just for adults, right? Because that's the problem is they don't. There's another petition going around that has the adults and the kids mixed together, but the adults aren't really the main focus of this, and nobody consulted me as to like the guidelines of what we need to do to open things up. And then when I started my petition, somebody came to me and said, hey, dial it back because the government officials they're getting confused. Well, no shit. They're government officials. Of course they're going to get confused. They're confused between adults and children, really. It's a very simple concept. But that's the point that I'm trying to get across is, we're adults. We should be able to make our own decisions. Stop keeping us inside. It's at this point, it's ridiculous. In New Jersey, the curve is flat. That's the whole point. Is flatten the curve, right? We've had a lot of death, and a lot of people have gotten sick, but we've been inside for over 2 months, and the curve is flat. I have family members that work in the medical field, nurses, doctors, and they're laying doctors and nurses off because it's so slow. So now that we know all of this, time to let us back out. Like you said, it's outdoor sport. You have more contact indoors in the supermarket backing into some guy who's looking at the potato chips than you do outside on the baseball field. Like you said, if you count the actual seconds, you're waiting for the pitch, and you add it up over the course of the game. What is it, 2 minutes, a minute and a half? And he's squatting, and you're standing. That's it. I like your idea of keeping your foot on the base, waiting for the pitcher to release the ball, and then stealing, and then we don't have to worry about the rest of it. Maybe they'll go for that. And a lot of my guys aren't happy about not stealing, but, whatever it takes to get on the field.
That's what it comes down to. It's how bad do they want to play the game? How bad do you want to get outside and work off all this stupid stress and anxiety of all the shit that's going on?
Yeah.
once the pitcher lets go of the ball, you can lead on or you can go for it. It's not like you're stuck there like one of the players said, well, that's just stupid to wait till the ball goes past the catcher. I said, where the hell did you come up with that idea?
Right.
It doesn't have to be fast ball. It's just right when the pitcher lets go. No sooner, just right when he lets go, you can take off.
Right.
And, you know, the idea was, well, can't we just wait and not really make it a guideline? I said, no, because I know you guys. Once you see him make a move, you know he's not coming to first, you're going to take off. You got to have a sporting chance. Once he lets go of the ball, you want to take off, go for it. But, yeah, the hardest part is to convince the local people that you are a baseball league of men, not you, that have to get the parents to sign it. And if they're all worried about, if a kid gets sick, the parents are going to sue us. Not the case. You just have to get them to realize the fact that you guys are an adult baseball league.
Right. And we told them that we would even sign waivers, but honestly, that waiver shit, it's all bullshit, because how are you going to prove that you got sick from this game anyway? You know, it's just to appease the officials. And by the way, New Jersey, all that waiver stuff anyway, legally, it's not legal here in New Jersey. It's just not. You can't, none of that stuff here in New Jersey, even though they make you sign it, is legally binding. So it's just a little bit ludicrous to me, some of the things that these people, they ask us to do. Again, I'm saying we're going more steps further than you did. We want to have all the batters wear a mask.
And nothing wrong with it.
No sharing drinks. Right. No, wear your own helmet. Bring your own equipment. No sharing equipment. Don't sit in the dugout. I like that you have, the on-deck batter and the batter that's in the hole, in the dugout only, and everybody else outside. I like that. We'll probably copy that. You don't mind if I copy that, right?
They showed that form that we use as a checklist of if you've got a fever, if your aches and all this stuff. And one of the guys said, my buddy aches all the time. I'm 45 years old. I said, yeah, just don't mark it.
Yeah.
Everybody aches.
That's funny. I had a guy in my league ask me a silly question like, what do I plan to do? If somebody comes to the field sick and doesn't tell us, because I don't think I can go as far as you as doing temperature checks and all that, because we may be in 35 different places at once, 40 different places at once. It's going to be too hard. But I told them basically it's the person's responsibility, if they don't feel well, not to go to the game, or if they think they're sick, not to go to the game. I put it to him this way. Why are you putting extra restrictions on me? I just run a baseball league. Are you going to Walmart or the supermarket saying, what do you guys plan on doing if somebody walks in here that's sick and doesn't tell you? No, you're not. So why do I have to go that extra layer,
It's like work. You got people doing work. They got the same form. They have to read through it. They have to sign, I don't have these symptoms. They walk. They could be lying and go to work, too. You got to respect it. You got to have enough common sense and be respectful of everybody else. And as I told them before the game, I sent out emails galore until they hated me, which they always hate me. I said, if you're sick, stay the hell home.
Yeah.
Don't get other people sick. You will have to fill out a form. You will have your signature on file, and you'll get scanned. If you mark anything or you come in hot, you'll be asked to leave immediately. You're not going to get past the table. I had to go to 3 thermometers. It's like, it's what we had to do at each location. We've got tables set up. We've got people manning the tables, and no one gets into the field without being scanned or having a piece of paper. We even do the officials have to have them done too.
And I like some of the ideas that you have, and I'm definitely going to be copying some of them and updating our little guidelines that we're giving not only to the governor, who doesn't respond, but to all the counties and local municipalities that I deal with. I'm going to update them all. And there was something else that I saw, and I'm looking for it now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, because the White House guidelines that they put forth are kind of vague. It says things like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 2 is like moderate social distancing. Phase 3 is limited social distancing. But then they don't go into detail on what moderate or limited social distancing is. And I'm looking on the CDC website for that, only because the White House press secretary said recently, when they were trying to open churches, President Trump said, open all the churches for, all houses of worship. And she said something like, wear a mask, especially if you can't maintain social distancing within, And so I don't know if she misspoke or if that's something that's in there, because that's definitely the holy grail to me. If you can't maintain social distancing, but you know, as long as you wear a mask, you're okay. And I'm thinking, I'm going to go, well, Jesus saves us yet again, because because now, if I could go to church and only wear a mask if I can't, you know, socially distance from somebody, that's me in the batter's box.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and so I'm looking to find that. Again, I'm looking for little cracks, like you've made a little crack of daylight, and we want to try to open that, make it a chasm here in New Jersey so we can play. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, try pitching one game. Tell them, let's play one game. We'll do these guidelines. Set the guidelines to enforce. Tell them this is what we're going to do. Let us do one game. Come watch it. Let's see if we can follow these guidelines. See what you guys think.
That's a great idea too.
Instead of you
That's a great idea too. Yeah.
Let's start the league and do the whole season. These guys are going to balk at that because it's like, well, shit. We don't want to have anything happen. You know, hit them with one thing. Hey, just say, hey, how about this coming Friday? You let us play we have an exhibition game under these guidelines. You guys can come out, see what you think. If we need to change something, we can do it during the game. We're already explain why we're doing it this way, so you get an idea of where we're coming from. That helped us out. That's when, you know, I changed my.
I'm going to try that next, Gary. I'm going to try that next. I appreciate all the advice you're giving me. I'm going to adopt some of the strategies that you've had. I'm going to use you as my hero to try to open things over here in New Jersey. And again, I do appreciate you taking the time out to spend some time with us and give us some information. And I appreciate it. Is there anything else that you want to tell us before I let you go?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Go play ball.
I appreciate it. Hey, you be safe and be healthy and your family as well, okay?
You guys too, okay? Let me know
Thank
what
you very
happens.
much. I appreciate it. Take care.
Guys.